Hello, everybody.
Hi.
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 All right, we're in our office so we can take our masks off
Yes, and our gloves.
and our gloves, but we'll keep them on because it's annoying to keep on and off.
Yes.
Thanks for taking a walk with me.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
really good for me to do that after 5.5 weeks since I got the coronavirus, and my symptoms are really getting better.
Yes.
So thank you for that walk. That was good.
Every day a mile.
Yeah,
That's
but
our
I do have an
interim
issue.
health goal.
Yes. I do have an issue with you that I'd like to address. I'm going to really try to be nice about it. It's annoying when you take your mask off in the street and then you say, oh, when somebody passes by or coming close to us, then I'll put it on. So that's annoying. And the other thing is that you don't mind passing people by, and I like to go into the street when we see somebody approaching a few yards away.
Yeah. Well, they don't seem to need to go into the street. And
Sure.
it's also true that probably by walking in the street, we're exposing ourselves to more risk of getting, God forbid, hit by a car.
You're
So,
right. You're the man. You're right.
Psychologically, I understand that you want to get away from people because you're afraid of infection, but I don't really think
And I
that's
already
the
got
problem.
it, so it's actually not very rational. It's just my own psychological issues.
Right.
And if I had it, you had it, and it's silly, I know, but these are my personal sensibilities.
Right, but I don't always want to be controlled by somebody else's, um, sensibilities, especially if they're not really so rational.
Well, then thanks for accommodating me on this walk. I really appreciate it.
Well, the walk is fun, but we do have to figure out, because we do feel differently about the mask issue. Like the actual law that I read on the New York State website is that only in a situation where you cannot maintain social distancing, such as a crowded subway or busy street.
Yes,
Now our
I'm aware of
streets
that.
are not
Well,
busy.
as usual, you're the masculine one, and I'm not necessarily always rational. I go with my feelings. My feeling is stay away from people. Show the mayor and the governor that we're following the rules, and you need to maintain your masculinity, and you don't want to be vulnerable by wearing a mask. I think wearing a mask makes you feel vulnerable. I think you should own it.
Well, I don't think you should tell me what I'm feeling. I will tell you this, though. We always were brought up being worried about making a Chilul Hashem. And so, part of the problem is that we're going to look like the crazy Jews that seem to have infected the city to begin with.
You're so right.
So I get that, but then part of me also hates that because we grew up our whole life with our teachers bullying us with this idea about Chilul Hashem. I used to joke to my friends, how come they don't say do you think in the Solomon Schefters, do you think they say, oh my gosh, boys, you have to behave when the religious Rebbe comes because it's going to be a Chilul conservative or a Chilul reform? They never say that. It's always we have to be the one man or one woman ambassadors for the entire faith. But look, we will now show our listening public how we try to solve disputes like this, because actually it's you have a right to feel comfortable, but I don't really have to always be organized by the things that make you anxious or don't. Although I care. I do care. So I'm going to ask you. First, I'll tell you what. I will summarize what I understand your position to be. Okay?
Okay.
And if you would care to do the same for me.
Yes.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So your feeling is that it just makes you uncomfortable. It's like a Willie's weird kind of feeling, and maybe also you feel, oh, look at the Jews, they don't care, and things like that. And so you just want to be really on the safe side of the street, literally and figuratively.
Absolutely.
Do I have that right?
Yes, you do.
Okay. And what's my feeling?
So, what I hear, your issue is that you don't want to do something if it's not necessary. It just seems silly to you to have to, every time somebody passes, to go into the street when you're saying it's more of a risk to get hit by a car.
Right.
And why should you be wearing a mask if there's nobody around?
Right.
I hear that. Do I have that right?
Well, yes, but I think there's a personal piece between you and me about this also, which is that because you are a person that is very reactive to different things that make you comfortable or not comfortable, like almost like a little bit more like prickly about these things. So it feels.
I get it.
It's a slippery slope. Basically, I'm afraid that every chip of my iceberg that you knock off, I'm going to have less and less space to myself until finally I'm going to be allowed, a postage stamp space to leave all my man things.
Okay, so
and all womankind will take over the entire house.
Okay, so in pedestrian terms, you're saying that I'm being controlling.
Well, I don't like to say that, but right. So, but so it. Obviously, on any one thing, I'm happy to accommodate, but it becomes, quote, for the principle of the thing after a while. Now I'm walking in the street because she's anxious, and tomorrow she's going to tell me I have to wash my hands 6 times instead of 3 times. Or for 22 seconds because she read somewhere that really 22 seconds is the right thing.
I get it.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Thank you for listening. I appreciate that.
Sure.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much distress does it cause you when I, keep my mask off until we get within 6 to 8 feet of somebody, or that when we pass somebody by, that I stay on the sidewalk instead of going the street.
4 or
Scale
5.
of 1 to 10.
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
And I'll tell you the other scale about walking into the street.
Mm-hmm.
That scale reaches more like a 7, 8.
Oh, okay, so that's very important. So if I was to accommodate you, I would probably want to accommodate the second one more than the first, because obviously it means a lot more to you.
Right.
That's very interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. So that's really... See, folks, how important that is? Because, like, you could argue for an hour, but you don't even know which one is more important.
Right, so I'll ask you the same question.
I would appreciate that.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how disturbing is it to you when I ask you to keep your mask on?
Well, so here's how it is. It doesn't matter the order. It's more about the aggregate. So, like... It's like your
Could you explain aggregate? You're always using these fancy words.
That it's an accumulation of feelings. So it's like if you get one ticket from the sanitation department, they charge you $25, and the next ticket they charge you $75. So it's like if we're going on a walk or we're doing something, and there's one thing that feels to me a tad obsessional, and you want me to do it, I'll do it. But then like you used up your allowance for that hour. Like if you ask me another one, now I'm starting to feel controlled. Like, cause I like to make you happy. So like if you want to go on a walk, and you can ask me one thing, but if like every 2 minutes, we just read about this. That if you're whatever the next concern is.
Scale of 1 to 10.
So the first one would be a 4, and the second one would be like a 7.5, and the third one a 9. See,
Hold on.
increases.
Going into the street is a.
That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter the order. The point is, if you keep asking me more and more accommodations to make, I'm feeling like I'm having less and less space. Like, do you mind if you wear gloves? No problem. Do you mind if you wear mask? No problem. Do you mind if you cover your eyes? No problem. Do you mind if you wear a helmet when you ride your bicycle? Okay. Seatbelts. Fine. No smoking. All right.
No drinking.
Right, exactly.
Okay, listen.
See what I'm saying?
We're up to 8.5 minutes, and we said we would try to keep it to 5.
Right.
So what would it be like if I let go of the mask issue? You put the mask on, you said, when somebody approaches, as opposed to keeping it on the whole time the way I do. And then when we see somebody approaching, we do go on the street. How would that be for you?
Yes, but it's a 1-week deal. After that, we reevaluate.
Fair.
Okay, because I don't want it to become like a new thing in our life.
Okay. That's fair.
But when it comes to like obsessional things, the more you do it, the more you give into it, the more crazy it makes
I get it. But that's for another day. Have a great day.